Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 8th of October 2019. Today we're going to run through our pairs. So we had this on the dollar Swiss franc, had a bounce, now we have another bounce. Not a huge reaction there, as expected. Why? Because we're reacting at weekly supply at the top, so we expect this to begin to move down from here. Okay, so this is, I don't know if I mentioned this or not in the last video where we covered this, but which was 2 ago. This would be a area that you would manage with a slight degree of aggression because of the fact that it's reacting at weekly supply. Okay, but we had a good bounce nonetheless. Okay, then we had this one here. This is the euro US dollar. This area is marked off. We've had like a few bounces on it, which is nice. So this is holding. And this is also telling us that there's interest in selling for the time being, which is nice. So price is potentially gonna drift lower. It's gonna run through these super fast, and then we'll go through and do an analysis of all of them. This one, we had this area here. This is the first test of this trade. Price came down. We moved sideways. We built up orders to drive price a little bit deeper to the edge. You see the slingshot to the low of the green candle. This is where we bounced. We came back up to opposing supply, and now we're having another go lower. I'm expecting it to wriggle down to around here. The dollar yen, well, this has still done nothing, and I like this area because of this, where we had this area here, which was, we had a few bounces at this level here. If we do the whole area, you can see here we had testing here, kind of the resistance, the support becomes resistance, and then price finally managed to wriggle through it. Okay, so then you move us to the area that, the origin of the move that moved through this area here, and that is around here. So looking for the slingshot to be pulled back, and it kind of left and went through all of that. Now this is gone. It's tested once. The child was tested here. Then we had this area sit on the area and move sideways, and so we have this area here now that we're looking to sell at, like this. I took 2 times that for the stop about here, and so we're expecting price to have a bit of a bounce there. And I think we should do that, because if you look at this, and we have 35 pips risk-ish, and price has gone at least 3 times that down, and there's no demand until, I suppose, we get down into here. We have kind of a push higher, slingshot pullback, went higher, slingshot pullback, and this is the release that managed to consume the supply available here, which was tested a couple of times. So I'm thinking price will come back in kind of in this area here. I don't know where, like around here somewhere. Okay, we're kind of testing the upper area of it now, but maybe we'll have a push lower. So waiting for that. Aussie CAD. Yeah, this is just bouncing off the Pipnotic levels. I like this one here. Yeah, price has tested this once, twice, and now we kind of broke away. Now it's working at this opposing demand. Isn't it pretty amazing how well these levels hold, by the way? We had this one here, and it almost tested it, and then went down. It's pretty crazy. It boggles my mind. So just goes to show that this stuff is not more than pretty entertainment, because it is entertainment, I suppose, because it's adding color to your chart, but they're solid levels. They're really solid levels. The Aussie dollar Swiss franc, and we tested this here. We came down, we tested, and we looked at this. This is we said that buys should not pay a price any more expensive than the low of this one. Price went to it, and now we went to the opposing side of the market, which is this hourly supply, and now we're looking to kind of build a base of this small continuation pattern and move higher. And this is interesting here because we have this here. Okay, it's got the hourly chart so you can see it clearer. So we had this one here that was tested, and then price wriggled up and then cut through it. Okay, there are no clear swings prior to this. We could do this, put the origins on there here, and put this on this just to see. No, nothing really there. Let's try one more. Yes, we have one here. Okay, so all Origin is doing is just looking for areas that have been price levels that have been respected, and so that brings us down to here, this area here. I mean, looking at this, it's not a pretty area, is it? If we go to the 4-hour and have a look, you can see price rallied, came down, moved sideways, popped up, accumulator, and rallied. So, I mean, this the indicator is telling us here. So we'll probably have a bit of a bounce there. And this is the one here that essentially consumed this hourly supply that we saw. And so I think price will certainly come down here and have a bounce. If we remove this, we kind of already got our, I mean, 1-to-1 on that one, so that's already tested and gone. And so the next one in line is this one. So let's look at the count on the left. It's this one. We closed above the highs here in this area. So we go from the low of this candle to the low of the area, so around here. So this is an interesting area, the 0.6685. So maybe we'll have a bit of a bounce there. I would have been much happier about this had price moved above this hourly area, which it has not. But we'll see. Maybe we're going to have another push higher. But here's an area at least we can keep an eye on. The Aussie, Japanese yen. And we had this. That's kind of okay. So we had. Let's do this properly. See, I mean, when you start doing these and you look at a chart and you think, yeah, this looks like a nice area, or this is a nice area, you have to stop yourself. Stop, because that's guessing. So you have to do the legwork, okay? And this is super important. And by the legwork, I mean look left. Okay, look left and say, what area is focusing, is causing price to do what it has done. So you have to find an old level that's been violated. We have one here. You know what? I'm just going to go like this. Clean all this off. Okay, so we have this one here. Tested once, twice, 3 times, then it cut through it. Kind of the origin of the move that did it all is kind of like down here. You see how we kind of had price come down, test an area, and then rally, accumulate, and then rally. And so, I mean, something is down here, but when you look at this, it doesn't look super beautiful, does it? And we do have something here. So on the hourly chart, we're certainly going to see a reaction there, I think. If we go to the hourly chart and have a look. And we can see it here. Probably go here. Oh no, in here somewhere. Let's go like that. Okay, so that's a pretty likely place for a bounce. But looking below that, I mean, price has already been back to this level once and twice. So it's, ideally, you want to look lower. When you look lower, you see this. Okay, and this is where price poked into here. So let's have a closer look inside. So I'd be keen to see what's going to go on here. If you want to have a closer look, then go down to the smaller time frame and dig. So yeah, going to the smaller time frame is pretty awesome because we'll leave that there, because it enables us to see inside. So we have this, which I like, 2 times that, and we have this one here, about here. So these are pretty cool areas down here, because this has been price gap down into an area of demand and then just shot away. I mean, it spent relatively little time down here. Rallied, accumulated, rallied, accumulated, rallied, accumulated, rallied. We went up, we consumed this, we pulled back, the slingshot was pulled back, and then it shot up north. So I'm saying that I would be comfortable buying here, and I'd be comfortable buying here, and I wouldn't be so comfortable buying up here. Okay, so let's go back to a bigger time frame so we can see where they are. Oh, let's move this blue one. The 70, 72 I like, and I like the 70, was it 36? I like those areas there. So that's pretty interesting there. So keep an eye on those. The Aussie Singaporean dollar. Well, we had to look at this. We had a 4-hour area. We have, is that a 4-hour? That's a Pipnotic area. Price went up, we tested it, we we came back down, we tested it, and now we're moving away. Ever so carefully, we identified a 15-minute area in there. Let's see why. Well, the 15-minute area inside, excuse me, is this one here, but I've got to do it properly. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to mark this off here, because this is where we came to. And I'm going to go down to the 5-minute chart so I can see exactly what it was. There it is. It's right there. We have this little continuation pattern. So you can mark off here the high. This is where it's removed. And the area, you can see, like, if you look at the highs of this candle, or kind of the high of the pullback. When I say pullback, I mean that, let me draw. So we have price comes down, it moves sideways, it moves down, it moves sideways, and then it leaves. So the high of the pullback is the highest high of this child after this parent was formed. Okay, so the high level there. So if we look at that here, you can see that the high level is going to be around here. Okay, about there. Okay, so that would be, we can just go like this, because this is kind of like push sideways and then dump, and then we could move it like that. Okay, so that area is almost gone there, and now it's gone. So now you have to look for that pullback that caused that to happen. Have a minor pullback here, had a bit of a bounce there. I probably wouldn't have spotted that one there, but if you go lower, you can see the clearer moves. We have them down here, but notice the problem with this here is that price has already been back. Let me do this quickly. Price has already been back down to this area, here, here, and here. So you'd want to look below. Okay, hence my area being drawn here. I like this one better because here we had a big release. Okay, so we had, well, essentially we have the origin, which is here. Okay, and then we had this, which is gone. The area that did it is here. We could do 2 times that. Okay, this is kind of the edge of it, the pullback. The slingshot was pulled back here and then left. So that one's gone. So we have that, and it's below this. Another cool thing that you all know I like is the black space from the release until current price. So this is the first time back. This is fresh. Okay, this is not fresh. Why? Because price has been back to these levels before. So this is a pretty cool area just there for that reason. So I'd be pretty comfortable taking that one on. This one is gone. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Okay, you look at the 4-hour, see what we looked like down there. Look at that. On the 4-hour, actually, the indicator's done it for us. Okay, so if you want to be safe, you just do what the indicator's saying. Just do this. Okay, you could do that. Oops, what's going on? But for the sake of example, we're going to mark it all off. I have to go down here again. I just want to make sure that I mark it. It's about like that. Okay, so we'll leave that on just to see what happens when price gets to that level. Actually, it was above, wasn't it? It was up here. Let me have a look. Yes, so we were looking in here. This little piece here. Okay, so we'll leave that and see what happens of that there. Okay, so the dollar, Singaporean dollar. So we have, okay, we had, what are we doing? Let's see, prices, we have a high, sorry, low, a high, a low, and a high. So that means careful selling. We're going to give it a shot anyway because we are poking into the edge, kind of the beginning of the sell zone, which is around here. Price has already been there. See, price has been there, so now we're moving off, and now we're going to have a retest of that area and a push down. What I'm hoping price doesn't do is poke through. Okay, so I'm hoping that it doesn't kind of move through there, but we have a lot of reasons to think that it won't, and here are the reasons why. Okay, so we had some tests at this area here. We had a deep test, a shallow test, price went up, poked into the area, and then we left, we moved sideways, then we left, moved sideways, and we moved left. So we took out this one, we took out this one here, and this is interesting because this one took out this one here, and this is an error because this took out this one just in here. You can see test, so there's something in here. We took out this one. Okay, so you can see how all these are linked together. So this is an interesting one. It's not pretty, but on the micro time frame it's going to look a whole lot better. We can do this because we have to go down to small time frame. Deep test, price cut through it. So this one would be it. Price has moved through it. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there. Okay, so this is gone. The origin of the move that took it out is up here. Okay, this is the one that cut through it, but the origin, where did the origin of the move that took out this demand and this demand come from? It came from up here. And we have this pretty interesting kind of a top, very short period of distribution at the top there. So accumulation of orders to move price lower, drop, sideways, drop, and this is the first time price came back, and price came up to this area here. Let's have a look in there and see why it stopped there. Okay, we can see right there. Here it is. Oops, it disappeared on me. Yeah, so it moved to this. So if we shake that, come on. Sorry, back, bit of a interruption there. Let me see where we are. Got close to it. You can see we go up a little. Got close to it, but not close enough. And so looking at this, I mean, we have this price came down, we kind of pulled up, slingshot was pulled back, and then it released. Okay, and you can see that there is some stuff going on here. Let's just mark up this whole area, and it's gone. And the origin of this move is, well, obviously it's up here, so we could put our entry above, which I'm considering. Looking at this now, because I like this little push away here. It's maybe something like that. So I'll leave it on. Let's go have a closer look at that. Yeah, so the one that left is here, so we'll put it on right there. Sådan der, as they say in Danish. So we got that there. So we'll leave that and we'll move this up. Oops. Move like that. Stops up there. Perfect. Right. So we'll leave that. Goody below we have. So we have. Okay, I think you guys probably know what I'm looking for now. You had this, which is gone. The air that took it out. It's probably something in here. The origin of this move is here, and you can see pretty clear. It's here. We have price move up, we had a poke lower, and then it left. This is a continuation pattern from this origin. And we have this one here, which is also very interesting. And this was interesting because, why? Well, it removed kind of a lot of stuff. And if we look at what that was, we had this here. Okay, it's tested, went to the edges, tested once, up here, many times. It's tested. This is an important area because price went up and we poked. We had one period of trading in there and then we left. And this one took it out, which makes this one strong. Okay, and this one here is strong because this one took out this one. Okay, so we have these, which I like, and I'll leave them on there. Of course, you can see how this supply was tested once and it finally cut through it. We moved up, we tested the edge of this area of supply, so resistance becomes support, and then it left. Okay, so I think that this is a pretty swell area, so we'll leave that on there and see what happens. We'll move this away. Cool. Okay, so that's what we have there. I'm going to leave all these on there just so we can see what happens. The pound US dollar, we have this one here. Price didn't get there, unfortunately. Boris Johnson is screwing around, doing all sorts of rubbish things for the pound. So looking here, we have this test, really nice test. So when price left here, we moved above these highs, and price just cut through this, it gapped through this, and it originated from this area here. So I like this one here, especially on the smaller time frame, which is very clear. So you can see that we had this one here, it was tested, gone. We could even go like this and say actually this is the one, which it actually is. So it's demand, test. This one tore through it like I don't know what. And we have this. The trouble with these is that, I mean, this is the origin, but the real origin is up here. And so you have to put kind of a stop above this one here. So I'm going to chance it and take this because I like this one better than this because price has already been back to this area a few times, here, and here. Okay, so I don't like this area here, but I do like this one. Okay, which is why I put it there. But I just want a little bit of protection for my stop, so I put it up there like that. Okay, and I'll put it at 1-to-1 just to see what happens. So that could be reached within in a few days. This looks nice as well, and the reason this is nice is because it's the origin. This is the most recent origin of the push higher. And so we had this tested once, and then below that we had all of these tests which point to this. Now this is gone. The area did that is this one. It's been tested. So now we're waiting for this to be removed or price to come up to here. And none of those things have happened yet. And if we look lower, you can see we have this 4-hour area that the software found. God, I like that area a lot. Because okay, so we had something in here. Actually, we had something that looks like this. There's something in here. I had a deep. We have this one here, and then this reacted to the child, and this one reacted to this child. Okay, and now this one's gone. And this is interesting because we had this tested. Now it's gone. Not a beautiful, powerful punch to the structure of market, but it did what it objectively needs to do. This is the one that did it, and this move here is the one that removed that, and the slingshot went back to here. And so, I mean, this is a really good area, and it tested and it did pretty well. We have another one lower. Where are we? We have another lower, this one. So let's see if this is any good. So how would we do that? You can stop the video and you can do your analysis, and then you can change back to the video, and you can play it and see if they line up. Okay, so if we look at, we have a few areas here. First of all, we have this one, I have this one, So we have gardener cutting the grass, and we have this one here. Okay, and are any of those still around? No, they're not. They're not around. This one's gone. The area that removed that one is this one here, more or less. Sorry, I was one step ahead in my head. So we have this one. Okay, the area that removed that is this one. The area removed this one is this one. The area removed this one is that one as well. So those are gone. And now is this one still valid? It's not. It's gone. Okay, and so this is the area that did that. The origin of the move is down here. So we can't see anything on this time frame. So we'll have to go. First of all, we'll zoom in and we'll go to the 50-minute chart. Let's have a look. A wee gander. Come on. Ah. Let's look. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, so looking at this, does this look like a nice area? It doesn't. Why? Because we've done a whole lot of this. So that's not the origin of the move. The one I would go for is this one, or this one. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. On a higher time frame, we'll mark off this. We'll mark off this. Then we'll go back. Look, okay, you can see them pretty clear here. This one here looks pretty nice. I'm going to remove this one. So you could do 2 times the size of that. I like that one a lot. That's pretty cool. Here we have the bottom, the origin of this move. And this is a strong push away from the origin. So I'd be pretty keen on doing something like that. As a matter of fact, what you could do here, look for the candle to the left. What's the low of it? It's right there. So you could, the area is that big, so you could try with it 2 times that, but I wouldn't. I would go more like that, just to get the both areas. But I think this is a pretty interesting area. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to buy the pound for the time being, but we can watch that and see what happens. I'll put a line there. Right, I'm just going to save profile as symposium. Yes, of course. So we have that. We can watch. We'll probably have a bit of a bounce there, but I think we're going to go here for this bounce. Remove that. We're going to go deeper into this one because of what we just discussed. Okay. So already down there. See, we're already down here, so that's not too far, is it? We have this one here, which is push, slingshot, release. So this is also interesting. This is the last one that ripped through this. Okay. Bitcoin. What do we have? Here, Bitcoin. Let's have a look. So we had a lot of tests here. Let's go to the 50-minute chart and see what that is. Here it is. We had this one here. Tested a bunch of times. Now it's gone. The area that did that, the clear one. Well, here we have this one, but you see the wicks down, so it's telling you to look lower. Here, this one's testing this one. And this is good. So this is a nice place to start to buy. But like we saw in the pound American dollar, you'd want to start looking lower, because I like this one very much here, because this is the earliest release. So the origin, this is the earliest release that was responsible for taking this one out just here. And so we have this around here. So you could start to buy here. So essentially the low of this pullback here and lower. Okay. So let's see if we got reactions at the high. At the high, price went through it. Not really. We didn't really get a reaction at the high, but we went all the way down to the meat, which is down here. and we didn't go through it. You can see here's the high, the 50-minute demand, and here's the low. So we went into it, and that was that. So it's probably on small time frames, I mean really small, we probably had divergence, lower lows in price and higher highs in whatever oscillator you're using. So that's what we saw there. Would I still buy it? No. And even if I miss this train, I would be fine. I still want lower prices. I wouldn't buy it for the time being, because let's do a more refined analysis of it. So we had a really nice push here. Once, twice, it's gone. The origin of that is here. That's a clear origin. This is what price is bouncing at. But if we look at that area, price has already been back to this level many times in the past. Been here once, twice, 3 times. We had a little test in the area here, here, here. So this demand is gone. This one did it. Oops, can't use that one. So this one took, come on. This one took out that one. This one took out that one. This one took out that one. And so you want to start buying, I mean below here. This is because people who don't know what they're doing are just piling in like a shitload of money because they think, oh wow, Bitcoin's really cheap. And hey, it could go to the moon, but I'm not going to buy it because I think it's too expensive. The only real area is to buy lower. So if we look at that, we do a really, see, this is the one here right there. And if we zoom really far out and we do our analysis properly, like many people don't do. Okay, I can't see. Okay, here. So if I can go like this. Okay, so we had this. Oh, this is nice. This one is really nice. Yeah, because this one removed this one. So this one is nice. Now this one's gone. Oops, only one. So this one's gone. The area that took this one out, the origin, is down here. Okay, kind of a big one. On the daily it's going to be clearer. Here. Here. So it tested. I think that's the one, isn't it? It's difficult to see when you're jumping around all these time frames. So I had to race around like this. It makes it kind of difficult. Okay, here. So this one. Let's go like this. Okay, so we're down here. So this one, it looked better on a... Yeah, so this is... I mean, this is really low. You can see it's really low. It's all the way down there. So this price popped up, moved sideways. We pulled the slingshot back, and we moved higher from there. But this is... And I'd be keen on going for the low of this candle. And then down to this weekly. Yeah, the software is on the money, just north of the $4,000 area. Yes, we'll see what happens. This one took out the one that's in here on the daily chart, so we'll probably get reactions there and move price lower. And when price comes back down to here, which I'm confident it will, then I'll definitely get involved with Bitcoin again. But for the time being, it's hype, and I'll wait. And if price comes down to here, well, this is simply just such a delicious area. Why? Because, I mean, look at this. Price did nothing, and it slowly started to gain traction in 17. Look at this. It's not even that long ago. If we look at the price levels, I mean, it's not even that long ago. What's this? $1,000, and this is like in 17. Good Lord. Look, when this hype started, not that long ago. And it just went flying from here. And the big push, ladies and gentlemen, is coming from this area here. So this is the absolute This is value for Bitcoin right here, the low of this pullback. When price comes here, buy. Came down once, we tested it, so another push down here, and I'd be super keen on getting in. But we do have these areas that are closer to price, and they're valid for the reasons we've just iterated, so I'd certainly be keen on looking here and here. But up here, no chance. Why? We have a liquidity void, thick liquidity is lower, buyers are lower, so there's no need to buy for the time being, unless you want to get rid of your money. Okay, so let's have a look at other stuff. What do I have? I've got these. Let me try and find something I haven't looked at. Maybe the Euro Aussie. Do I have that in there? Let's go on the Euro Aussie. Go to the daily. Notice I haven't been focusing so much on the flows, and this is because the trend is your friend. But if you're careful and you do your analysis properly, then you can see this. You can just go to the daily chart, have a look. What are we doing? We're going higher. Cool. Just take that information with you down to the smaller time frames. Okay, so now this is when we do our analysis properly. So we look for those really nice areas. Excuse me. We have this lovely area, beautiful area. This area is nice because it cut through all of this stuff here, and this took out this area here, and this area here took out this, so this is gone. This was tested by this, and the slingshot went up. We pushed from here. This is the origin of the move. Rallied, accumulated rally. We tested it, and now we went here. We tested it once, twice. Now this one is gone. What area did it? We can't see that on this time frame. So let's go. Yeah, well we actually can see a few things, because we have to be lower than here. So you look here, we had this, tested, removed by this. The origin of this move is up here. We have it here, test, release. We got it here. This one is gone. What area did it? This one here. This is one of those areas on top of areas which I don't like. It's been tested. It's gone. What area did it? You can't even tell because it's just news that did that. So that's a bit of a blow when that happens, because then you have to you kind of just have to look lower. But what we do have, this one here, remove this very quickly. So I like this one. I like this one. So you go to the smaller time frame and we have a closer look. We'll dissect it. You know what? My attention is immediately drawn to this. So price comes back down to here. 2 times a stop, like that. I like that. I wouldn't fiddle around too much with any of that. I like this. This is just a really nice pattern here, the 159.50 area. That's great. Yeah, so we have that. So we had a lot of, this is kind of a bum when prices shoots down like that. It's a bit of a tough one. But we had something in here. See? It's gone. The area that did it is this one, which is being tested. Now, come on. Been tested, now price is moving away. So until this one gets removed or something lower gets removed, there's not a lot to do. Okay, so nothing to do on that one. Let's go to the euro pound. Probably going to see a similar story. Okay, we're overextended, we're stretching, so we want to be selling. Okay, so look at all this nice testing going on. We had a higher one. Oh, this will be a nice one here. Had a higher one. This one is gone. The area that did it is this. Tested. Then price pushed into this one. Now this one's gone. What area did it? Oh, this little bad boy up here. We can't see it. Let's have a look. Zoom in. Okay, so this one's gone. So this is the one that did it. So let's do our analysis super clearly. I want to go to the edge. It's tested quite a lot. You can see this little price nodule here. There's going to be valid demand in there. Matter of fact, we're going to look at it. We're going to go to the hourly chart. We'll have a look because we're going to find a lot of clarity in it. Well, there you are. Look at that. Right there. It's so beautiful. Right there. That's the one the price reacted on. Okay, this is the one. And if you look why, well, we had this. We have this one. Okay, price rallied, accumulated, and then cut through. And from here, price moved above these highs. So we had this one as well. Okay, and this one is responsible for taking out micro demand here. And now this one is gone as well. So I mean, there are a lot of reasons to look down here. Price tested that one. See, ooh, but the area that took it, it's already gone. We can see it right here. This one here did it. Remove that one. This one's, see this one, well, almost tested. This one's gone. The one that did it is this one. Tested, dump. Okay, can you see how this works? Good one, test. So what are we doing now? Let's go to the higher time frames and look. This is a pretty interesting area. I like that because we had a super big reaction at that level. So I'd be okay trying to take that again at the 0.9010. Alternatively, we could go for the origin of the area that caused this whole break, which is higher. So we have this. Then you ask yourself the question: has price been to these areas before? Well, it has. It's been here and here. So the only fresh, clean area that we can see is, well, this one's here. It's been tested once, but it looks like a cool area. And the reason it is because it removed this. 1 test, 2 test. This one removed it. Tested. Beautiful. I would be okay with trying to sell from here and up again, but alternatively we have this one, which is above price, which is kind of the origin, the green candles, which moved down and removed everything. So this one is nice. I just kind of go like that. I'll just trade the daily area and be done with it like that. But now just do my analysis properly on the daily to find my perfect entry. Okay, is the range of this kind of within the previous? No. Is the range of this kind of within the previous? No. Is the range of this kind of previous? Yes. So for this one, use red for the daily. I mean, you could go from here to here. You get a bit of a smaller entry, and I like this because if we look closer, yeah, this is the high of that pullback. The slingshot was pullback, and then we shot below. Okay, and we had this. We had all these here that were tested, test, price setter, and then cut through. So, I mean, I'm going to put this trade on for that reason. So, new order. I'm only risking 0.25%. I only have like a small account here, like $10,000. Okay, so let's put this on. So 3. Um, 0.925. Put it on, and we want this to stay in for a week. If I go like that, it's going to confirm. It's not going to come out. Okay, so we're at the 8th, and it's going to go to the 15th. That's cool. I'll leave that in. That's perfect. So that's what we have. We got that one there. We'll leave that there. Yeah, this is just a little bit too messing around there, so I won't do that. You can watch what price does when it comes up to these levels. We'll certainly have a bounce here at the 9,000 area, I think. Let's look at the. You guys should post what you want me to look at You know what, let's have a look at oil. What's that called? Brent oil. I like Brent oil because it moves in a very predictable way. So does gold, actually. So, what are we doing? Well, we're kind of, yeah, I don't know. We're moving around. We're volatile. So let's have a look. So, what areas are gone? So we had this little area. Come on. Okay, so it was tested once, twice. It's gone. This one did it. This was tested a lot. Now it's gone. The origin of the move that did that. It's here. Has price been back to this area before? It has, here and here. What does that mean? That means lower. So go down here to uncharted waters, which is here. This is where price reacted. Okay, but okay, we did have this area here, which was tested. Come on, software. Oh, good lord. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to use these. It's easier. So we had this one. It's gone. What area did it? This one we tested. Is that the origin move? It's pretty low, but I like this one here. I'd certainly be looking to sell there. We had this one up here. So now we need to look for the opposing areas. Here we had something. What area did it? We're going to look lower. Okay, this brings us to where we came from. Okay, so we need to go back a little bit more. We can do that here. So we had this. Sorry. Do here. It's gone. What area did it? Well, I like this one a lot. It's been tested. Damn, I didn't see that. What else do we have? Well, we have, you know, I'd be keen to sell once price got down there. Here, tested, that's still in play. And so, yeah, I think we could certainly, this one's still going, so it's still bullish. You know, I'd be looking here. What's up with this software? Maybe it doesn't like oil. So we have this, looking closer. The candle, higher the candle to the left, it's here. 2 times that. So we could have a look there. Software bothers. Anyway, so we have that. So this, we have to find these areas that have been respected historically. We had something in here. You can see. Ugh, work. Okay, work software. It's not working. Okay, so this one is tested, and this gap through it, the origin of the move that did it is down here, and this has already been tested. So, there's nothing to do here for the time. I wouldn't fiddle around with Brent. Cool, we've marked off a few things. Have a couple of trades in. The American dollar, Canadian dollar is out. I moved I took a portion off down here. Had moved my stop to break even here, and I got stopped out in the last piece, and then of course it went lower. But I'm thinking we'll certainly go down to here, which is our target was. Or the first target, and then we'll see what happens when price continues to move lower. So a short update there. Cool, well I'll leave it at that. It's getting on a little. I'm sorry these videos are so long. In the last video I talked about the YouTube playback speed a plugin for Chrome. You should use it and zip through these videos quick if you can. Yeah, and give me an idea of what you want me to look at in symposiums. Okay, and you can just do this by typing them in the requests room here. Okay, so Siri, please have a look at this or that, and I'll do it in the next symposium. Okay, because I'm kind of running through this now by myself. This is the stuff that I'm looking at. I'm trading. So, but let me know what's going on. All right. Good. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next symposium, and have a lovely week.